Hello YouTubers, Chilios2222 here. This is a review of what will break on your Taurus. This is not a Taurus bashing video by any means. Nothing against Taurus. Want to get that out front. Just a little bit of an educational on the problems that I had with a specific pistol. So now that that's clear, let's go into it. Broken, recalled, and needs work. All of these apply. This particular pistol is the Millennium. This is Taurus's 45 PT145 PRO 45 ACP, made in Brazil. Gonna clear the handgun, magazine out, slide lock to the rear. Handgun is clear, nothing in the chamber. You can actually see in there. So what broke on this particular Taurus for me was actually inside the slide. The portion inside the slide, let me get this apart real quick. These are a little hard to take down. Sometimes you need a tool. But the portion that broke inside the slide, I can show you. This little lever goes up. This lever right here sometimes does not want to rotate. So this is real time me trying to get this firearm apart. I apologize, it's a little tricky. It's just that the lever sometimes does not want to come out. It's a lever so much as a plunger. Probably don't recommend using one of these. Alright, there we go. Legitimately, that's how long it took me to get this Taurus apart. Now, I'm not going to hate on this Taurus because it takes me a long time to get it apart on camera. This pin comes out. Basically, that holds the barrel in place. Not a big issue when you do it a lot. Had this firearm out of commission for a little while because of the problem that I'm about to detail to you. Inside here in your slide, you have a little safety right there. This little safety is so that the trigger has to be pulled for the firing pin to come all the way through. So you can see if you push on this pin, the firing pin as I am right now, it's not going to go anywhere. Let's get the recoil spring out, the barrel. There's your barrel, short 45 ACP barrel. Recoil spring. You can see, I guess that's a double captive they call it. Should be able to see your firing pin right there. So when I push this, nothing's going to happen because of this safety piece right here. If I push down on this safety piece and at the same time push the firing pin, the firing pin is now protruding. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe not. Get some light on that. A little hard to get an angle on this. I'm holding the flashlight with my neck at this point. So now you can see that firearm, or that firing pin, is protruding there. When I let go of the screwdriver, what happens? Firing pin comes back. You can see the safety piece move. So I'll do that again for you. So I just overcame the safety with my thumb, which would be like your trigger. Watch this piece move. You can see that that piece inside there moves up and down against pressure. So I can show you that with a screwdriver. Up and down, up and down. Now, what failed on this pistol for me is that piece actually froze in place. So the internal safety on this handgun froze in place, would not budge. When that happens on these, it freezes up the slide, so your slide will not move whatsoever or take an incredible amount of force. So at that point, your handgun is completely jammed. All that aside, has been a pretty good firearm. The recall behind these was based on the safety. Let's see if I can get it together a little bit easier. Helps to put the recoil spring in the right way. So putting this back together shouldn't be that hard. Let's hope. One would hope. You can see inside there, the barrel basically floats. So you can see it go past the window. So, apologize for earlier, it took me so long to get it apart, but at least now you can hopefully see something of value. So you let the barrel just come all the way forward like that. Then you're going to take your pin and you're going to overcome this little spring tension which holds it in place. So I push that spring down, pushing that spring down and out of the way. So now I have the pin in partially. That's your disassembly pin. Gonna try to wiggle the barrel until I get it all the way through and it holds the barrel captive. So you can see now the barrel won't move because this pin is holding the barrel in place. Now I pop it all the way in and that should be back in. When I was taking it apart, I was trying to go down with it and this actually rotates up, I believe. But you can see now, it doesn't want to budge. So I'm going to let the slide go forward. And we're going to try that again. Lock it back. Try to get this piece to budge. Doesn't want to go. So I was pushing it the wrong way. It goes, again, learning experience with this on camera. It's me working on camera, kind of seems backwards. So come down this way until you're there, until you're vertical. And that's how you disassemble. One other thing with the recall on these, the specific reason was the trigger safety. So what would happen with the trigger safety, or the manual safety I should say, we just went over the trigger safety that I had a failure with. The manual safety would not stop the trigger from coming back. So clear the weapon again. It's clear, nothing in the chamber. Let the slide go forward. The manual safety here functions fine. Can't pull the trigger anymore. And here, I'll show you, you can pull the trigger. Okay, without the safety on, pulling the trigger. No problem, right? And it's got RESTRIKE capability. Works fine. Put the safety on, should not fire, right? Which works fine also. The issue was, if someone had done this, and I don't know why you would do this, maybe while you were firing and you kept your finger on the trigger while you slid up the safety. So you would have to do that, and then once you did that, like maybe in the middle of a firing cycle, it is possible that you could do that. You would still have this gap right here where the safety was not in effect. So you could, bam, overcome the safety. Now, it would only do that one time because you can't restrike. Watch what happens once I do that. Take this off. Now, you can restrike. So, overcoming the safety was pulling it back to the point where it's about to break, engaging the safety, and then pulling through. And the product was recalled for that reason. Other than that, really that's the only issue that I have with this handgun. So, number one, me fumbling with disassembly, that's my own fault. Number two, the internal safety not getting enough movement or not being well lubricated causes the slide to fully lock up. So hopefully I've explained that correctly. Now, I don't know if that's a maintenance issue. It very well could be, just me not maintaining that internal safety. But I wanted to point that out to you. If you are a Taurus owner, your handgun has that little bar on the inside, which basically, as this trigger moves back, it engages that internal safety, which is the last safety blocking the firing pin. So if you don't keep that in good motion and well lubricated, you will get a full slide lock, which will render your Taurus into a hammer. And it doesn't work as well as a hammer as it does slinging lead. So hopefully you followed that. I apologize for my style or lack of style thereof, but I just wanted to point that out to you as a Taurus owner so you kind of know what's going on with the inside. And again, it's not a video to bash this handgun. I actually really like this handgun, this 45. The size of it, it's great size. It had 10 round capability. So you got 10 rounds of 45 ACP. You can see the magazine it's just like the Taurus magazines now, even though this was made some time ago. And really quite accurate and nice handgun. So again, I don't want to bash Taurus whatsoever because I really like their inexpensive firearms. The point of my video is just to show you why the handgun was recalled because of that safety failure, and the internal safety that you really have to pay attention to, because it'll lock up your slide and your slide will grind and you won't be able to move it if that safety freezes, because it locks up on the trigger. So hopefully all that makes sense. This is Chilios 2222. If this means anything to you, please like and subscribe. Don't be a hater of the Taurus, just be aware of its limitations. And thank you again. Chilios 2222 out.